Welcome, class of 2024. I'm Greg Atkins, and I am excited to welcome you to Glacier High School, the finest high school in Montana, and I actually believe the finest high school in the United States. My job, my responsibility today is that I have the honor to introduce you to the Wolfpack speech and debate team. I am the head coach of our team. I'm in this picture, which, by the way, was a picture that was taken across town in the foyer at Flathead High School when we won the 2019 state championship. Really proud of that picture and really proud of what that picture kind of represented at the end of that tournament. So let me tell you a little bit about the Wolfpack speech and debate team. We are a competitive team that participates in MHSA activities with the same authority and expectations of all of our athletic teams. Our team typically has somewhere in the neighborhood of 115 to 150 students who join, which not only makes us the largest extracurricular team here at Glacier High School, but also the largest speech and debate team in Montana and one of the largest in the United States. Of those 150 students, we have students from every grade level, every social group, every clique, every club, every sport. We've had football captains become state speech and debate champions. We've had so much of that diversity. In fact, it's that diversity that makes our team so special and so competitive. We have speech nerds and athletes and cheerleaders and choir kids and band kids and FFA kids and theater kids and also kids that have never done an activity ever before but try speech and debate at Glacier High School. We are successful. With the exception of that very first season in the 2007-2008 season when we didn't have any seniors, where we got 7th place, we've competed for a state title every year since then. In fact, we've gotten 1st, 2nd, or 3rd in every year, including 5 state championships, which is the most by any Montana team during that stretch. We are nationally ranked, and we intend to battle for another state championship this season. During this era of COVID-19, much is unknown, but I want you to know that there are many folks working hard to figure out how we do this activity in person and safely this season. I'm confident that we will find a solution. And I know that most of you probably have never even thought about joining our team. Most don't, unless you've had a brother or sister or maybe a family member or a babysitter that did speech and debate. So it's kind of hard to think about when you're in 4th grade to go, oh, I can't wait to be on the speech and debate team at Glacier High School. But my job is to begin to try to convince you that this is something you should do, something you should join, something that'll hopefully change your life. MHSA allows us to begin official practices during that first week of October, which this year means that Monday, September 28th, will be our first official practice. We'll practice for a month. We have our first scheduled tournament on October 31st at the annual Kalispell kickoff that we'll be hosting here at Glacier High School. Now, normally we'd all be sitting in the theater, and I'd have speech students up here with me, and I would ask them to talk or have them give speeches of or parts of their speeches or their full speeches to entertain you and encourage you. But of course, we can't do that today. COVID-19 changed that. But we'd still like to entertain you. In speech and debate, students select their own event. There's all kinds of different events, kind of like a track and field team that has people that are sprinters and long distance runners and jumpers and throwers. That's kind of what we have in speech and debate. In fact, we use the same scoring system. We have debaters and we have interpreters, which are drama kind of students, and we've had kids that do kind of just the traditional speech events where they inform or persuade us. We have speeches that they're just given a short time to prepare their speech. So it has quite a variety of skill sets in our program. I'd like to introduce to you to Senior Asher Robinson. And if you don't know Asher yet, you'll get to know him. He's a pretty active student here at Glacier High School in lots of activities. We tried really hard to get Asher in speech and debate as a freshman. I think he came to a practice or two, but he just didn't jump in. I think he would tell you now that he was pretty shy. But we did get him out as a sophomore year, and he has had a tremendous 2 years in our program, including a national qualifier and a state champion. He's going to share with you the newest event in Montana. It's called Program Oral Interp. Program Oral Interp is where you figure out a theme, and then you go out and find literature and poetry and songs and really anything that's been written and kind of mishmash it all together in this kind of hybrid interp event that allows you only to use one prop, and that is a folder with your speech in it. And you can put all your stuff together around a theme. Asher did this last year, and it was our state champion in Poi. What you're going to see is actually one of his practice sessions that we taped back in January. I think this was about 2 weeks before we went to the state tournament. He did make some changes to this by the time we got rolling, when he had just an absolutely fantastic tournament. But here's Asher Robinson's Poi on imagination, and I hope you imagine joining our program next year.
If you be a dreamer, come in. If you are a dreamer, a wisher, a liar, a hoper, a prayer, a magic beam by. If you are a pretender, come sit by my fire. We have some flax golden tales to spin. Come with me, and you'll be in a world of pure imagination. Take a look, and you'll see into your imagination. We'll begin with a spin, traveling in a world of my creation. What you see will defy explanation. The night Max wore his wolf suit and caused mischief of one kind and another. His mother called him Wild Thing, and he said, "I'll eat you up." So he was sent to bed without anything to eat. That night in Max's room, a forest grew and grew and grew until his ceiling hung with vines and the walls became the world all around him. And an ocean tumbled by with a private boat for Max. And so Max sailed off to where the wild things are. From the ordinary to the extraordinary, your imagination can bring you to lands of wonder and mystery, and the further you go into these worlds that you create, the more amazing they become. But as time passes and the thoughts of imagination seem to become more and more childish, these worlds that you create start to fade, and this imagination you once had begins to diminish. So, through a poem, Invitation by Shel Silverstein, the short stories, The Wish by Roald Dahl, and the book Where the Wild Things Are by Marie Sendek, and the song Pure Imagination by Leslie Berkushi and Anthony Newley, I wish to bring you back down the path of wonder and delight, and reopen your eyes to the fantabulous world of your creation. This is Imagination, a program. You never really noticed it before, but all of a sudden the colors seem to brighten mysteriously and spring out of him in the most dazzling way. You see, he told himself, I know how this is. The red parts of the carpet are red hot lumps of coal. And if I touch one of them, I'll be burned. Yes, as a matter of fact, I'll be burnt up completely. And the black parts are snakes, yes, poisonous snakes, adders mostly, and cobras thick like tree trunks around the center. And if I touch one of them, I'll be bitten and I'll die before tea time. But if I make it all the way across without being burnt and without being bitten, I'll be given a puppy for my birthday tomorrow. When Max came to where the wild things are, they roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth and rolled their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws, till Max should be still and tame them with the magic trick of looking directly into their eyes without blinking once. Oh, and the wild things were frightened and called him the most wild thing of all. They made him king of all the wild things. "And now," cried Max, "let the wild rumpus start." He got to his feet and climbed higher up the stairs to obtain a better view of this vast tapestry of color and depth. Was it possible? Was there enough yellow? Yellow was the only color he was allowed to touch. Yes, the yellow did seem a bit thin in some places, but it did seem to go all the way to the other end. And for someone who had only yesterday traveled the entire brick path from the stables to the summer house without touching the cracks, this should not be too difficult. Except for the snakes. He extended one small sandaled foot and placed it cautiously upon a small piece of yellow. Then he brought up the other foot, and there was just enough room for him to stand with 2 feet together. There, he had started. "Now stop," Max said, "and sent all the wild things off to bed without their supper." And Max, king of all the wild things, was lonely and wanted to be where someone loved him most of all. He lifted his foot high over a patch of black, aiming carefully with his toe for a narrow channel of yellow on the other side. When he completed his second step, he paused to rest, standing very stiff and still. The narrow channel of yellow advanced along for at least 5 yards. He walked along it gingerly, bit by bit, as though walking a tightrope. When it finally curled off, he had to take another long stride, this time over a vicious-looking mixture of black and red. Halfway over, he began to wobble and waved his arms around wildly, windmill fashion. He made it across and stood very tense at all times and arms out, fist clenched. He was on a big island of yellow. There was lots of room on it. He couldn't possibly fall off, so he stayed there, resting, hesitating, waiting, wishing he could stay on this big yellow island forever. But fear of not getting a puppy compelled him to go on. "If you want to view paradise, simply look around and view it." Once he had a choice of ways, either left or right. He chose the left, because although it did seem more difficult, there was not so much black in that direction. The black is what had made him nervous. He glanced over his shoulder to see how far he had come. Nearly halfway. There was no turning back now. So Max gave up being king where the wild things are, but the wild things cried, "Oh no, please don't go, we'll eat you up, we love you so." Max said, "No." So they roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth and rolled their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws. He lifted his foot and placed it upon the only little piece of yellow. This time the point of his foot came within a centimeter of some black. The snake stirred, as though sensing his nearness, and gazed at the foot with bright beady eyes, watching to see if he was going to touch. "I'm not touching you. You mustn't bite me. You know I'm not touching you." Well, the child went high up on his toes and stayed there, frozen stiff with terror. It was minutes before he dared move again. This next step of his would have to be a really long one. So he lifted his foot, inch by inch, then pushed it out, far, far out in front of him, then down and down to the last step of his sandal was resting safely on the other side. He stepped into his private boat and waved goodbye and sailed back into the night of his very own room, where he found his supper waiting for him. And it was still hot. He leaned forward, transferring his weight into his front foot. Then he tried to bring his back foot up as well, but he couldn't do that. Then he tried to bring his front foot back, but he couldn't do that either. His legs were too wide apart. He was probably stuck. He glanced down and saw this deep river of black. Parts of it were uncoiling now and beginning to shine. He wobbled and waved his arms around wildly to keep his balance, but that only seemed to make it worse. He was starting to go over. quite slowly at first, and faster and faster at the last moment. Instinctively, he put out a hand to break his fall. And the last thing he saw was this hand of his right in the center of a great glistening mass of black. There is no life I know to compare with your imagination. Living there, you'll be free if you truly wish to be. Thank you.
Again, thanks for watching. I really hope that you enjoy your year here at Glacier High School. Enjoy being at the very best school. Hope to see you in speech and debate here at the end of September. And now I'm going to turn it over to the Wolfpack Theater Company.
Hi, I'm Miss Benson and I am the director of the Heart of Robin Hood. We thought we would share a little bit of what we have been working on these past week and a half, almost 2 weeks. This is a scene from Act 1. This is the cast and one member of the crew. Here they are.
I'm Gabrielle Cantrell-Musson. I'm a freshman and I'm playing Alice.
I'm Eleanor Cummings. I'm a freshman and I play Sarah Summers.
I'm Kelsey Bemis. I'm a freshman and I play the bishop.
I'm Riley Sperry. I'm a freshman and I play ensemble.
I'm Elise Plum. I'm a sophomore and I'm the stage manager.
I'm Kaylin Holt. I'm a sophomore and I play Jethro Summers.
I'm Eric Kalvik. I'm a sophomore and I play Robert Summers, George LeBrun, Monk, Villager, Soldier, and the Duke of York.
I'm Fiona Fuller. I'm a sophomore and I play Margaret LeBrun and Fang the Wolf.
I'm Zach Lapke. I'm a junior and I play ensemble.
I'm Bryce Crane. I'm a junior and I play Mutch Miller.
I'm Alexa Wilton. I'm a junior. I play Dame Dowerly, Lady Tubington, and a villager.
I'm Yane Myers. I'm a junior and I play Will Scarlett.
I'm Derek Smith. I'm a junior and I play Pierre.
I'm JP Coke Ford. I'm a senior and I play Little John.
I'm Zach Hall. I'm a senior and I jump from character to character.
I'm Sydney Fletcher. I'm a senior. I play Plug the Dog and I'm the fight captain.
I'm Ashley Bruce. I'm a senior. I play Makepeace and am the music coordinator.
I'm Ty Espeseth. I'm a senior and I will be playing Guy of Gisborne.
I'm Dresden Allred. I'm a senior and I'm playing Prince John.
I'm Sydney Barkus. I'm a senior and I'm playing Maid Marian.
My name is Asher Robinson and I am Robin Hood.
Places! Actors, go!
What is this? Where's your money?
We've already been robbed, sir.
What?
By the most appalling, devilish rogue.
A fearful apparition.
Who robbed you?
He called himself Martin of Sherwood.
Martin of Sherwood? He has a sidekick.
Big Peter.
A terrifying creature with strange shoes.
What is he like, this Martin of Sherwood?
Oh, he's almost frighteningly handsome. Pale skin, eyes like gems. To be robbed by him was almost a privilege.
Get them out of here!
He doesn't just rob them, he seduces them too.
He's getting our business, Robin.
I think it's about time we paid this Martin of Sherwood a visit.
Isn't this the Life Theater? Roasting lamb over an open fire, lamb that we caught ourselves, killed ourselves, bled and gutted. What's wrong?
I'm not hungry. And my name's not Peter. It's Pierre. French, Gaelic, stylish.
No, it's Peter. Big Peter.
Oh, shut up. You're not the Duke's daughter anymore. I can say what I like. You have taken me from the warmth of my toasty bed and my little bear, Bramble, and exposed me to the fretful elements, with no care for my well-being. You know how much I hate the cold. And I have cold bones, and green is not my color.
I seek owls. Oh, you poor suffering man. Come with me.
Oh, here we go.
There is gold for you. Thank you, sir. Tell your kin that Any man or woman who comes shall receive gold equally. For Martin of Sherwood is a noble outlaw.
He's been here 3 times this week.
Nonsense!
All this goodness can get very irritating, you know.
How can you say that? We've robbed 6 carriages. We've taken jewels and gold.
And then given it away to the poor.
What greater thrill to take from those who only receive and give to those who do nothing but grieve? Line?
We'll show Robin Hood.
We'll show Robin Hood what it means to be a true man of the forest.
You strike me as rather obsessed by him.
Nonsense.
I'm just saying, all you do is talk about him. Robin Hood, Robin Hood, Robin Hood.
Well, don't. Listen to the birds. We're as free as them. Oh, Pierre, have you ever felt such joy?
That's not birds.
That's singing. And that's the carriage of a rich man. Come here, into the trees.
I just ate.
Get up!
Halt there in the name of justice. No one need be harmed, for Martin of Sherwood is a noble outlaw. I seek only that earthly wealth that must die with you before our Lord.
Martin of Sherwood, I presume?
Ah!
And you must be Big Peter.
That's me.
Do you know what forest this is?
This is Sherwood Forest.
Wrong. This is my forest.
Hi, my name is Mrs. Fritz. I'm the head of the Wolfpack Theater Company. What you just witnessed was a rehearsal from the Heart of Robin Hood, which is our first show of the 2020-2021 theater season. We are so excited to be back creating art and stories for all of you to watch and be a part of. Our first show, The Heart of Robin Hood, is actually going to be presented outside on the East Lawn, and we are excited to have people come and socially distance with their mask and with also sitting on the ground, bringing lawn chairs. More details on that will come. Wolfpack Theater. This show has about 40 people involved in it for this first show. We do 9 shows throughout the year. And we have lots of opportunities for you to get involved. You could be an actor, a technician, you could set lights, you could make blood if we have one of those kinds of shows. You could be a weapons master. We have lots of opportunities. Ultimately, today, you're going to see lots of presentations about getting involved. You'll see music and theater and speech and international languages, art, a whole plethora. What our whole message is that we want you to get involved. We want you to be the best that you can be. And all I have to say is welcome to the Wolfpack.